Socioculture. South Korea has been praised for having an education system that helped transform the country and rapidly grow its economy over the past 60 years. Today, its high-performing students are the envy of many nations worldwide. The country invested heavily in education during the second half of the 20th century and in 2010 spent 7.6% of its gross domestic product on all levels of education. The outcome of this huge investment in education has been high academic performers. South Korean students consistently rank at the top of the Programme for International Student Assessment survey results in reading, mathematics, and science. Teaching is amongst the highest revered occupations in Korean society. The school length of day is considerably longer than those in the United States. A significant amount of the extra time students are spending in tutoring are spent learning the English language. 93% of all students graduate from high school in South Korea. In the United States, almost one quarter of all students, more than 1.2 million, fail to graduate each year. Long-term orientation, a Hofstede dimension, is scored at 100 for South Korea. It is one of the most pragmatic, long-term oriented societies. Let's review the other Hofstede dimensions to gain further insight on South Korea. With a score of 18, South Korea is considered a collectivistic society. The United States, on the other hand, is considered an individualistic society with a score of 91. South Korean parents are fiercely dedicated to their children completing their schooling, resulting in parents sacrificing their own happiness for their children. It shouldn't surprise you that South Korean society is shown to be one of restraint with a score of 29. South Korea has no major religious groups. Its population includes those who have no religious affiliations at 57%, a significant share of Christianity at 21%, and Buddhism at 16%. South Korea's current president, Park, is an atheist with connections to Buddhism and Catholicism. As of 2012, South Korea had low levels of government restrictions on religion and social hostilities toward or among religious groups. Korean, also called Hangul, is the official language of both North and South Korea. English is the most popular second language taught in Korea, but it is not freely spoken by the majority of people. The Korean government has been working hard to improve levels of English across the country. However, you may find that many Koreans struggle to understand English in actual conversation as they often don't have the chance to practice. There's a large Chinese community in South Korea, so in some areas you may well hear Mandarin or Cantonese spoken. South Korea is one of the most ethnically homogeneous countries in the world, with almost a negligible percentage of foreign immigrants. The immigrants mostly come from the People's Republic of China, United States of America, Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines. Trompenaar's measures. Based on his measures, South Korea's culture favors particularism, ascribed status, diffuse, and internal control. When people from an achievement culture such as the United States do business in an ascription culture, it is important to have older senior members with formal titles and respect be shown to their counterparts. It is also important to get to know people one is doing business with during meetings in particularistic environments. Someone from a universalist culture would be wise not to dismiss personal meanderings as irrelevancies or mere small talk during such business meetings. Now, let's focus our attention on the technological side of both of these countries. South Korea's spending on research and development has soared to more than 4% of its gross domestic product, more than any other country in the world, and double that of China and Europe. The United States spent 2.79% of their gross domestic product on research development in 2015. In 2016, President Park announced that South Korea aims to increase its investment to 5% of the GDP by 2017. And as you can see, in their last report, research and development scores were not very far away from the 5% goal. As a result of systematically applying substantial resources to research and development, South Korea has become a world leader in patent activity, information, and communication technology. The United States continues to produce more patent applicants by resident than South Korea. Increasingly, young technologists are fueling a startup scene that is led by mobile game developers and social media innovators. This has attracted the notice of American technology companies. Google has taken an active role in nurturing South Korean companies, introducing their favorites in the U.S. to help them build a global profile. Are you by chance using a Samsung or LG device, or how about driving a Hyundai? Each of these are top exports of South Korea and will continue to be developmental priorities, along with chemicals, semiconductors, and telecommunication. All of this discussion surrounding technology can help you understand how South Korea is a world leader in global innovation. The United States also continues to be a world leader, just as South Korea. In the 2017 report from the Global Innovation Index organization, the United States ranked 4, while the Republic of Korea came in at number 11. To wrap up technology in South Korea, we will shift our attention to the amount of scientific and technical journal articles populated over the last 7 years. South Korea has more than doubled its academic publication and output since 2005. Scientists publish mostly in chemistry, engineering, physics, and life sciences. As you can see, the United States significantly outperforms South Korea in the number of scientific and technical journal articles published over the last 7 years. There is some excellent science happening in South Korea, but in general, the average is not as good as the advanced countries like the US, UK, and Germany. Jin Woo stated, to spur investment in basic research, scientists have to convince the public and government officials of its intangible benefits. Excellence in basic science is not easy to have, and it has to be rooted in the South Korean curiosity-driven research and knowing different ways of thinking.